Hey there everybody, this is Authentic bringing you some more StarCraft 2 Heart of the Swarm action. This is a game post the most recent patch, so that had a lot of changes. This is doing a lot of little alterations and things, so this should be a very interesting game to watch. It's a TVZ and it is on Star Station, as you can see, and down in the bottom left hand side we have our blue Zerg player. This is Blade. And he is playing against, in the top right, it's our red Terran player. It's EG.DeMusliM, Ben Baker from Team Evil Geniuses, who is a very good Terran player. He is in fact in the round of 8 in the NASL Grand Finals this weekend, so go check him out there, go watch that. That is a brilliant tournament that you should definitely be following. He's playing Azubu's Violet, I believe, first off, which should be a cracking TVZ. He is a very prominent streamer, and he is one of the two, maybe I'd say the best, but I'm a little bit biased because I will admit right now I'm a bit of a DeMusliM fanboy. He's definitely one of the two best British StarCraft 2 players out there. EG.DeMusliM is obviously the other British StarCraft 2 player who's very good, is a good Protoss player. So yeah, it's should be a good matchup there. DeMusliM is also rumoured, it's not been confirmed, I don't believe, but rumoured to be possibly heading out to Korea in the following weeks after NASL to go and play for Team EG Team Liquid in the Pro League, which would be an amazing thing for him to go out to Korea to train out there, to be involved in a team league out there. It would be a very big deal. If you're new to the StarCraft 2 scene, Korea is the mecca of esports, essentially. It is the key point of all of these sports. It's where all the best players in the world live, are, train, play. So for a foreigner, as in a non-Korean, to go out there would be a big deal for him. So I really hope that does come out for him. We do see a very standard opening from Blade, who is going for his 15 hatches, 16 pool, which is a very, very standard play. And we do see from DeMusliM going for the 1 Rex gasless fast expand, which is also very standard in this matchup. We see it a lot, and in Heart of the Swarm it is pretty safe in Terran vs Zerg. Not so much in Terran vs Terran or Terran vs Protoss like it is in Wings of Liberty. That can really get punished in Heart of the Swarm. Whether that be by early Reapers and TVT, which really can mess up your day if you're going pure Marine opening. Yeah, big style. And Protoss, with their Mothership Call, really are good with their big Stalker all-ins and other all-ins using that Mothership Call, which can really mess up a 1 Rex fast expand unless it's defended amazingly well, which, watching DeMusliM, it probably would have been, but in this TVZ matchup it is pretty safe. There's not really any extra early pressure from Zerg coming in Heart of the Swarm compared to Wings of Liberty. Instead, he does go down, does spot the no gas, he does spot the spawning pool as well, so he knows that there's not going to be any really fast aggression from Blade here, which is nice for him to know. He is still getting the bunker up though, obviously. He doesn't want to get caught off by anything too silly. He has gone for that 1 Rex fast expand into double gas, so I would expect to see some Hellion Banshee if it was Wings of Liberty. Maybe he'll be going for the Widow Mine. Is quite a possibility. So the factory is coming up, and I'll be interested to see if that's going to be Hellions or Widow Mines. Hellion, the very standard old school Wings of Liberty style. Widow Mines very much coming in as a unit which is great at holding space. It is really good early game. If you have two Widow Mines, they can wipe out a ton of Lings early game, which can really be very detrimental to Zerg if they're trying to put on a little bit of early pressure just with Lings. DeMusliM is going to push out, just check if there's anything else at his front, just wants to be very safe and know what's coming. And we do see this Overlord getting chased out the back here. DeMusliM looking to try and pick it off, but that's not going to happen. Blade responded too quickly. Blade is doing the very typical Zerg thing, which is got his Lings on the watchtowers. He wants to see exactly what might be coming at him. And he does have his 3rd hatch down, which is again pretty standard, and the Roach Warren on the way. So yeah, he could be looking to do a bit of early pressure. but it won't be too heavy with that third base already up. It might just be a little bit of a poke just to see what he can get done, see if DeMuslim's been a little bit too greedy, which at the minute he doesn't seem to be, although he doesn't have a massive army. But we do see it's going to be Hellions, it's going to be the Hellion Banshee by the looks of it, which is very standard Wings of Liberty, and with that third command centre, this is what we see a lot in Wings of Liberty games. We do see the Hellion Banshee into a quick third orbital command, trying to mass up a big mech army and push out when you're pretty much maxed with a lot of Thors, a lot of Hellions, some Vikings, and a couple of tanks as well. Is kind of the mini mixture. I'll be interested to see how that changes. But we do see I can't even remember what it's called. Caduceus Reactor, that's the one. The medevac upgrade. So I'm liking this. He's going for the very fast medevac upgrade, which is, if you haven't seen the patch notes, increases the speed at which medevacs heal by like from 3 per energy to 5 per energy, I think. So it does that, and it's also reduces the energy cost as well. So it's a very good upgrade for the medevacs. It really does make bio a lot more viable in the late game. Often we see bio having to transition into like Sky Terran, or like into just a lot of tanks. But this medevac upgrade really might mean that that bio is a lot more playable in the late game, a lot more viable in the late game. That's also the case because of another thing that's come on the medevacs, which is this emergency thrusters, which for 8 seconds allow you to go pretty quick. I played the game earlier today with it, and they do move at one hell of a rate. Blade's going to be pushing out with these roaches. The Hellions won't really be able to get too much done, and this is a lot of creep tumors here looking to push out the creep from Blade. This Banshee though will do a lot of damage to these roaches if they don't retreat, which I like to see. And we do see an early infestation pit coming in for Blade, so he's going to be looking with his double evo to probably get infestors, I believe. Although swarm posts are an option, double evo normally means infestors. And a very late Baneling Nest, which is interesting. Might be just looking at ways to try and deal with these Hellions. And we do see with that medevac upgrade and with this mass addition of barracks that DeMusliM is definitely going for his bio play here. He's getting siege tanks as well, but with 4 barracks, he's got 3 reactors coming down, and he's researching his stim, and after that will be his combat shield going down, as well as his medevac upgrade and those medevacs starting to come out as well. You really will be going for heavy bio play. I do like this addition of a Viking coming out up here. It is very much good for picking off these overlords, which are looking to really be seeing what's happening and scouting out what DeMuslim's got. And we do see a lair tech coming in, a hive tech even. Obviously not this late in the game going to lair, but he's got his lep and he's already pushed into hive, so he's very quickly looking like he wants to kick into very like high tech units. He doesn't have a spire up, so I'd imagine this would be ultralisks, because otherwise the spire would already be up, I believe. DeMusliM has got this third base down, and he has gone with an orbital command, so he's doing very econ heavy. No planetary fortress for DeMusliM at his third, even though it is a forward third. He is going for the orbital command. He can lift that if he wants to. At the minute we do see the army sizes favouring DeMusliM, but we do see that there is going to be a very fast tech progression from Blade. Looking to try and stay safe with roaches, and a few speedlings and a few banelings. He has trapped these Hellions, and those Hellions do go down without the need to see those banelings. And we do see the 4th base on its way from Blade, looking to push to a late game composition very early here with no real game aggression, no real anything else, and he is going for the Hydra Roach composition, which we have seen in a few other games. If you remember, I think it was LZ Gamer against White Ra, that's also on my channel. That was a very heavy Roach Hydra composition. The Hydra's doing very well, and then Vipers as well to pull in those big units towards the Hydras to do their damage. So those Colossus from White Ra really did die very quickly with that Viper Reduct and into the Hydras, that just did so much damage. We do see a Changeling in here from Blade, which you don't often see getting in. You don't often see DeMusliM letting things like that happen, but that is going to be scouting out his army movements. And he does have lings around the map as well to be scouting these things out. Yeah, very much so. So the Ultra Cavern is the tech of choice we see. That was expected without the Spire there. So we're going to be going for a Ling Ultra Viper. He's kind of getting everything. It's a bit of an odd unit composition. As he's getting his Banelings, he's got his Speedlings, he's got his Roaches, he's got a couple of Hydras, and then he's got the Ultralisk coming on the way. So I don't really know what to expect from Blade. I don't know what he's going to emphasise more right at this moment in time. But we do see he's at quite a supply deficit. That is because he's gone for this very quick tech approach. So yeah, he is down on supply, and DeMusliM is pushing on with that and looking to get a second factory up. So probably pumping out a lot of siege tanks, I would imagine. But just look at these barracks. So many barracks for DeMusliM. There's 7 right there, just pumping out Marines. He does have a good number of medevacs as well. He has 5 medevacs on the field right now. We do see on those that they do have their emergency thrusters here, which do make them very speedy. I can attest for that myself. And they have got the Caduceus reactor upgrade as well, so they could very much play a big part in this fight, especially with this many Marines to be healed. It sounds like DeMusliM is scanning, seeing what he's moving into, and he is going to push into this 4th base of Blade and looking like he wants to take it down. He'll probably siege up his tanks here and just push in with the Marines and see what damage he can get done. But there is a lot of units here for the Blade. He is going to push in. The Lings do get taken out by this Marine pretty heavily. The Banelings do well. Vipers with Blinding Cloud causing these siege tanks to do not very much damage whatsoever, and the Ultras should come in and clean that up, I believe. The Marines on the high ground doing a lot of damage, but these Roaches are eventually, with these Ultralisks, going to take down the tanks, take down the Marines. The Medevacs do survive though, and DeMusliM does load up his last 2 Marines and push out and sacrifices that Viking, deciding he doesn't want it anymore if there is Ultralisks on the field, because it is not going to help him in any way, shape or form. We do see that Blades come out of that with quite a supply lead. That is because he can obviously reduce with all that lava. Also, not even much damage done onto that 4th base at all from DeMusliM, so he is going to be a little bit behind there. Although they are both going for their 3-3 upgrades, I believe. Yeah, 3-3 upgrades for both of them coming in. But we do see the joint vehicle and ship weapons that has changed for this patch. The second one of those, so that's level 2 coming in. But Blade is looking to expand to his 5th here, where DeMusliM is just about floating out his 4th command centre to try and take this base up here, this middle top base. Yeah, so I'm liking DeMuslim's play here. His 3-3 is on the way. He is going pretty heavy bio, but he is just starting to mix in some Thors as well, which I do like. They do very well against Ultralisks. And especially with not many tech labbed backs until he's just added these ones on down here, he couldn't really pump Marauders. Thors were much easier to go for immediately until he'd got that infrastructure up, and he is going to look to keep this creep from spreading too ridiculously across the map. There are a lot of creep tumors here, like a lot. But he is going for a triple command center here. He is really pushing to orbital farm to sacrifice some SCVs later on. I do like that play a lot. And we do see that Blade has less workers than DeMusliM right now. He's gone quite low econ, he went very fast tech, and because of that his work count is only just pushing above DeMuslim's now, 81 workers. DeMusliM is on 76, and I can't imagine either of them will really push on beyond that. Blade might as a Zerg player, they do like to get sometimes upwards of 100 drones, but here comes the big attack. The nice kiting from DeMusliM, the Blinding Cloud don't playing a lot. So many Ultras coming in. These Thors will not stand up to that many Ultras. There is just too many Ultras. Lovely Blinding Cloud and a lot of Roaches pushing in. There's a big bank for DeMusliM, which I'd love to see him spending. He's spending that on his Marines and his Marauders now. But this push forward is just really crushing. This Blinding Cloud doing so much damage. DeMusliM decides to load up, and he is going to leave. Just not being able to deal with that many Ultralisks, and the Vipers with that Blinding Cloud really doing a ton of damage, meaning that those Marines and Marauders and tanks and Thors all not being as effective as they should have been or could have been. So yeah, the Blinding Cloud ability we have seen quite a lot so far, and this is, oh wow, he's Evolution Chamber farming here. Wow, this is an interesting technique that he's just built all these evolution chambers just so his Vipers can can consume from them, can build their energy back up. This is, wow, I'm liking this tactic from Blade. This is very, very innovative, very different, especially that when you're late in this game, you're maxed out. Why not? Like, it's no really different to the Terrans who farm their orbital commands to pump those mules. So I do like that a lot. It looks like DeMusliM is going to push in with his CVs. He is sacrificing his SCVs. He's got enough orbitals now. But these Lings and these Ultras should take down this orbital. None of the Ultras can really get that good a surround because there's so many of them. But DeMusliM does lift up and decide that is it with these two Hydras just doing some damage. But DeMusliM does push in with the Thors and a lot of Marauders. These will take down these Ultralisks very quickly. Those Marauders just do a ton of damage. Wow, these Ultras are... Blinding Cloud again from the Vipers doing a great job, and now these Ultras could mop up quite comfortably, especially with the Marauders going down. The Marines still at the back, but they will go down very quickly. Again, these Ultras doing well, but this Thor might have just won this. Yes, DeMusliM does take that battle. He is a slight supply lead just because of what's in production right now. Although Blades has got a lot in production. We do see, especially in this patch, that the Ultralisks a little drop down here, and a drop in the main as well from DeMusliM. And that one's just been cleaned up in the middle, but he's got just a couple of Marines here, one Marine on the right hand side doing a little bit of damage to his hatchery. I like that a lot. And we do see the Ultras being used a lot more in this match than we have done sometimes. That is because in this patch as well, the Ultralisks have got a bit of a buff. They've now got the same attack to well, they've got a little bit of a buff, and they've removed the armoured damage for them and just made them a flat damage across the board. So they do deal with Marines a lot better than they used to. They still do deal with Marauders pretty well, or deal with Zealots a lot better than they used to as well. And DeMusliM is just going to push forward and take out these creep tuners with just a few Marines. Doesn't really matter if these get surrounded and lost. But he is doing a lot. He's massively stunning into these Lings will take them all down, and before he managed to see any more of that creep. But he's done a great job with just a few Marines there to push back a lot of creep. We do see +3 vehicle weapons and ship weapons up for DeMusliM, +1 armor's just starting, so just off one armory he's already got a ton of upgrades. He's on +3 for his infantry, whereas Blade is on his 3-3 or 3-2 should I say for his ground carapace, not quite as high as DeMuslim's. But the Vipers have also got a bit of a buff this patch as well. They've gained some extra HP, another 30 HP. I think it's gone from 120 to 150. So they are definitely a bit more survivable. And I do really like this Evo Chamber farm he had down here doing very well. It does look like there's going to be a little bit of a base trade. No, Blade does decide to push into this 4th to DeMusliM. DeMusliM takes out the 4th with Blade and forces it away. This orbital command should lift and does, and those SCVs are going to have to go scarpering. Blade has retreated though, and does get some good blinding cloud down. He is causing a lot of damage here, and these Ultras are doing a ton of damage to these Thors, which should really do better against Ultras. But with this blinding cloud, these Marines not doing as well as Ultras as they usually would before the patch. But some nice cutting here from DeMusliM. He is massively down on supply. Blade is definitely a supply leader, but he has got another 5 Ultras and another 5 Vipers coming in, which is just a lot of units. And Blade has left this army to its own devices, so it is going to come in and take down this 5th and maybe even push into the 6th of Blade. So DeMusliM is going to get some damage in return. But there was a Ling run by into the main here, which DeMusliM had to deal with workers. It looks like he might be sacrificing more workers. This 5th does go down, and Blade looks like he's gathering his forces to take down this army from DeMusliM. He has got a lot more in production. He's got 5 Thors in production here. He really is going heavy Thor, heavy Marauder to try and take out these Ultralisks. The Thors do well against Ultralisks. Oh, DeMusliM does well to avoid those Banelings and to target fire them down, and this 6th does go down, so they're on a 4-base Terran to a 3-base Zerg right now, which is definitely towards DeMuslim's advantage. And with so many Thors and Marauders coming out, he should really punish these Ultralisks. Some Lings get into DeMuslim's 4th though, but there is a big fight here. DeMusliM does get surrounded, he does have to pick up a couple of Baneling detonations go off, and he does emergency stuff out there. Look how fast these units are. Look how fast these medevacs are. It's actually ridiculous. That is a cooldown ability, and it does look like these Zerglings have managed to deny the space for a little while. force it to even burn, and I'm going to take out some more SUVs as these marauders come over to finally clear them out. But those mules as well, a lot of wasted mining time by these mules because of these lings. And they will have to get to repairing the command centre as well, which is not ideal. He'd rather have them mining. It does look like that Blade is going to double expand back to his original 4th, and that he's going to expand vertically as well, where DeMusliM might not be expecting it quite so much. These spine crawlers could slowly die off of creep, which would not be particularly nice. So again, we do see a big maxed out armies again. We see that there is a lot less workers for DeMusliM. He has been sacrificing those SUVs. He's down to 31 compared to the 69 of Blade. But we do see that the army supply is very much in DeMuslim's favour. But the army value is as well, mainly on minerals, which is a very interesting thing, which is when it's bio, you do get that. Looks like Blade is going to rush in now. More blinding clouds go down. Ultra's getting a decent surround with these lings to fill it up. Some big baneling detonations go off, and Blade is definitely all that. Oh, some nice abducts from the Thors, but they on the Thors, but the Thors are actually not getting targeted down by the Ultras, and actually that has helped him out a lot, pulling them out of the blinding cloud. So DeMusliM does a lot more damage with those swords than he probably should have done. We haven't seen that change in form from the Thors yet, but DeMusliM is going to be taking down this expansion as well and clearing out some creep. So although he's down in supply again, he's doing very well at clearing out creep, at destroying bases, and he will now see these random Evo chambers, which he will be probably pretty confused about. They do go down, no more consumed from those for Blade's Vipers, but again, DeMusliM has to load up and leave. There's nothing in the air for Blade that can really damage that, and no infestors to root it down with a fungal. So DeMusliM does again get away, does again have the economy lead really. But again, he is mined out at his natural, he is mined out in his main, he's mined out in his 3rd, and he's very nearly mined out in his 4th. So his economy is pretty shot. Whereas Blade's 4th is fine, his main and natural are not. His 3rd is still going as well though. And he does have this 4th on the way. DeMusliM is taking his 5th expansion now down to this right, which he really needs to hold if he's going to stay in this game, especially with this deficit in supply. And there is going to be a really annoying lingering by from Blade here to take down these just landed mules, take down these SCVs. This really is not good for DeMusliM. Going to be punishing him a lot. And we do see that those mules were giving him an income advantage, but if he loses them, and if he loses some orbitals as well, he really has a lot of economy, but nowhere to really mine from. He has a lot of mules, a decent amount of workers to mine with, but just nowhere to mine from. Whereas Blades is just about getting his 5th up. He has got his 4th still there, still mining pretty strong. So DeMusliM really needs to keep his army around here to protect this base, his last real mining base, which is very, very important in the overarching sort of part of this game. We do see this Marine taking this watchtower. Look like he has been doing some slight damage to these drones. He has taken one. The DeMusliM is pushing out. He is maxed again with another big army, a lot of Marauders and a lot of Thors. He's got some Vikings in there as well to try and deal with these Vipers. And Blades is not maxed out and does not get a great angle here. The Marauders at the front, the Thors at the front doing a lot of damage to his Ultras, but those Baneling splashes were big. Only really Marines left for DeMusliM, which is going to be tough to deal with Ultras with Marines, especially after this latest patch. And it looks like he is going to have to retreat, maybe pick up in those medevacs and go. He does decide to leave, but he is also pushing down on this left-hand side. He does take out Blade's 5th with these Marines and Marauders. No medevacs with them though. But at the same time, these Ultras are going to deny mining again at this right-hand side base for DeMusliM. But oh man, there's just so many bases going down on both sides. Looks like the 3rd of Blades goes down as well. So he's down to 1 mining base. DeMusliM is down to 1 denied mining base where the orbital is burning. So this is a very tight game. We do see again that Blades has the army supply, and he does have a lot more workers as well. DeMusliM very much relying on those mules. And if we do look at the units lost tab, it is pretty even. The Zerg has lost a bit more, but it's a pretty even game on that. Blades is expanding up to this top left and down to this bottom right, so he's expanding as far away as he can. Unfortunately, Bio is pretty mobile and will be able to get out to those, but we do see so so little places for DeMusliM to mine. He is essentially off one base. He does have kind of a 2, maybe even 3 base economy because of the number of mules he has, which is just ridiculous. He has 7 orbital commands, which is just like absolutely insane. But again, he is down on that army supply just a little bit. He's massively down on the worker supply, but he doesn't mind about that so much because of the mules just doing a good job. These Vikings are going to get some shots off on these Vipers before they manage to do anything, but these clumped up units from DeMusliM could easily get done by the splash damage of the Ultras here, but he does find a good choke to fight in. Even with the blinding clouds, he finds a decent choke. Again though, this mining on the right hand side gets denied, and that might be game. With nowhere to mine for DeMusliM, he is going to really struggle to win this game. He has got a little bit of a bank, but no real army to do this damage with. He only has 39 Marines and the 11 Marauders, and against this many Ultras, against 11 Ultras, I just don't think that's enough. He is going to push in here with his blades and take out a lot of the infrastructure, take out this orbital command as well, and it looks like DeMusliM using these buildings to his advantage, trying to get the best angle he possibly can. Marauders do well against Ultras, and he now comes in from the other side, again trying to use the other side of the buildings to his advantage, which is very useful. But with blades getting up another couple of mining bases, I just do not think it's going to happen for DeMusliM. He does push those Ultras away, but if we look at his income, it's essentially nothing. He really needs to get mining at this base again. He is dropping a mule to repair and a lot more mules to mine, but this is just pretty dire straits for DeMusliM. If we look at that income, it is far in Blade's favour. He's done very well with his Viper blinding clouds, doing causing a lot of trouble and damage for DeMusliM. Meaning that his units can only attack from a melee range. The Ultras, with their buff and getting a lot of them, are doing a ton of damage to these Marines and these Marauders. He's never really had enough Thors in and a good enough angle as DeMusliM to deal with them. And these Banes are going to do well. Some nice, oh wow, good load up from DeMusliM to get away from those Baneling detonations, which would have really ruined his day. He does one of those Vikings as well. He gets a good trade on the Vikings to Banelings ratio, especially with so few Vipers in the air now. It does mean that DeMusliM doesn't really need those Vikings, but again, mining denied at this base from Banes. It looks like DeMusliM is going to take out this base up at the top, and he's going to push into this base, trying again to deny the mining, knowing he has a smaller army. He can't take a straight up fight. He has to try and get a better economy, which he is struggling to do with this base still lifted, still denied. And it does look like with this kiting from DeMusliM, he is going to be doing a lot of damage, but I can't imagine these Lings not taking this out, especially with those Vipers overhead helping out a lot. Another big Baneling splash, and that is a very damaging Baneling splash. I think that might be game for DeMusliM. Damn! Oh, DeMusliM not happy. Still, he is raging about that, which is not good to see. But yeah. DeMusliM has struggled with Zerg recently. He has been not outspoken, as everyone's kind of agreed that the investors are a little bit ridiculous. Obviously not happy, a bit stressed before any NFL finals, but I do love DeMusliM still. I do think he's a great player. So good game. This is Authentic. This is the first game I've casted after the patch, which is yeah, it's been very interesting. Some very interesting styles and play coming out. Do click subscribe, do click like if you like this. There will be more brand new Heart of the Swarm action coming post patch, and you can see all that on my channel. Do click subscribe if you want to, and I will see you next time.